good day. Just to speak on it. Alive. No, I'm sorry, not alive. But opportunity for you to look at some of the social issues that's going on. And in your own way, in the house, you can go back and forth speaking at the TV. You can still speak on it, you just can't speak to me. The bottom line is this. We've had an interesting week. So today we will sort of reflect on some of this. But the first piece you will see today is a piece from back in the day, in the heat of the night. It's in the 48 and some other actors. When I was a younger person, I remember that movie. But that's how life, that was Jim Crow. That's how life, that's just how it was. It was like that. That's how white folk dealt with black folk. And Sidney Poitier is one of the first actors in my day that began to show the type of energy that, but no Negro could have done what Sidney Poitier did to that white man, even in Hollywood. Sidney Poitier is from the Bahamas. God bless him, he's still here, 93 or 94 years old. So he had a different spirit. He was able to slap that white man back. Negro would have done that, they would have hung him right there on TV in Hollywood while they was taking the thing. But you all don't want to hear all of that because you just think you done discovered something. People of color, black and brown. You better get rid of that brown foolishness when you talk about black. You need to be saying Negro. Period. They ain't saying brown and black. They saying they want all of it. They ain't got no thing about them having all of theirs, but they got advantage that you don't have. They had Al Chapo. Remember, Chicago was his U.S. headquarters. So when you see them driving them big old Ford 250s and buying up all of these areas, I ain't mad at them. But they got money. And next week, we're going to look at why you can't get nothing. I wish we had time to do it today. Because they set up a system. So a lot of that money that's going to be in that cannabis piece is part of what the brown, as you call them, the Hispanics, who most of them, particularly the Mexicans, they want to be white anyway. They don't want to be whiter than the Irish. Now maybe some of them Puerto Ricans might want to be a little brown because they can't hide it. But them damn Dominicans, they don't want to have nothing to do with you. The Haitians, poor thing, they ain't going to give a Haitian a break to do nothing. That's because they kicked Napoleon's behind. And they still paying billions of dollars a year. Reparations to the damn French who came over there and destroyed their land. Yeah, I'm going there. Because see, this whole cannabis thing and this whole stay in your place thing, we saw a lot of that this week. We did. So now that, some of y'all is on lockdown, and some of y'all done start back looking at canned TV. Just keep searching, you run into me. Because you need to get up on some of this here. Bottom line is this. That little excerpt you finna see from In the Heat of the Night with Sidney Poitier, I want you to look at it and I want you to think about how you felt. Whether you white, black, or Hispanic. Think. And think about what he says because that's where we are today in 2020. What that white man said is exactly what's happening right now. And you damn black, fake politicians, you want to sit around here and act like you ain't acting like the boy that he expected Sidney to act like. But only now, instead of having white folks think like him, you got little perpetrators sitting in big places in city government, in other places in government. They look like you. But they think like him. Come on, brother, let's talk. Let's do this.
your favorite, Mr. Tibbs?
Well, I am partial to any of the epiphytics.
Why, isn't that remarkable? That of all the orchids in this place, you should prefer the epiphytics. I wonder if you know why.
Maybe it would be helpful if you'd tell me.
Because, like the Negro, they need care and feeding and cultivating. And that takes time. That's something you can't make some people understand. That's something Mr. Colbert didn't realize.
Is this what the epiphytics root in?
My point. They thrive on it. Take it away from them, they do poorly.
What do you call this material?
That's osmondin, fern root.
Well, we don't want to take any more of your time, Mr. Endicott.
Why'd you two come here?
To ask you about Mr. Colbert.
Let me understand this. You two came here to question me?
Well, your attitudes, Mr. Endicott, your points of view are a matter of record. Some people, well, let us say the people who work for Mr. Colbert might reasonably regard you as the person least likely to mourn his passing. We were just trying to clarify some of the evidence. Was Mr. Colbert ever in this greenhouse, say last night, about midnight?
Gillespie? Yeah. You saw it.
I saw it.
Well, what are you going to do about it?
I don't know.
I'll remember that. There was a time when I could have had you shot.
Now, you see how the butler, I know he said, oh my Lord, they finna kill every Negro in this area. That's how it was. That's how it is now too. And that's how they can do what they do in the court system. That's why down in Kentucky, Breonna Taylor, that's why that situation went like that. I mean, the little attorney general and everybody else, But that's what we are, y'all. And we getting deeper and deeper into that. But Senator Poitier is a black man. He's a person of color. But he is not a Negro. He ain't never tried to be no Negro. But during that day, even in that day, he was the black man that they chose to be able to do things that they weren't going to dare let no Negro do. Oh, they wasn't. And now you falling back into that. Sidney Poitier and Harry Belafonte, they just lucky. They was fortunate. Why? Because see, they got spiritual, they got things over there. Oh, bear. Yeah, buddy. See, before he came here, I'm sure his folks did some things so he would be able to do what he did. But you all, with your superstitious self, what you want to do is hide and include everybody else. And Jesus helping everybody. But what you getting? And right along and now, other than being punished with your bishops and apostles dying because of COVID-19, because they didn't understand Isaiah, I ain't gonna get into that. Understand? Y'all need to snap out of it. What you just saw is what we are today. And you going back to that. And you just going back. thinking that you're supposed to include everybody in your business. They taking this little leaf business. They got liquor stores all over the place. And I ain't never seen a black liquor store yet. And now they finna have leaf stores. And you smoke all of the leaf with your crazy buck-eyed self. They don't even want you to have none of them. But thank God for Ricky Hidden and LaShawn Ford and others. They've been working hard. And they think they got a little something going on right now, but hell, a lot has changed by the time we have this show. And the order here is going to switch, but we're going to look at a positive piece where Ricky Henton is talking about some things, and I'm going to let him speak for himself. And I know sometimes you all might be thinking and wondering, da-da-da-da-da. Don't be wondering nothing about what I do and stay out of my business and mind your own. Yes, I'm using these clips because it's making the point. Now we're going to listen to Ricky Hidden show gratitude. And it's okay to show gratitude. But I just want to tell you something. Then we're going to compare Ricky Hidden's situation to the cowboy situation. Because Negroes are so manipulative, exploitive of each other. They leave you hanging on a limb with a rope on your neck, your ankles, and your wrist. Ricky just got lucky here. You should have seen the one he done earlier that day. And the one he did after that about affirmative action. But I ain't going to show you all of that. Okay, Omar, show the people this year.
Tell all your people who are interested in what's happening in cannabis to come on. I'm going live right now. Got good news, good news, good news, good news, good news, good news. Good news indeed. Hey, Facebook, it's your boy Ricky Hendon. I got great news. You can tell all your people who are interested in real wealth. I'm talking about $1 billion worth of wealth for the black and brown community. Even if we get half of that, you're talking $500 million in Chicago, and Illinois. Some people are claiming that we have a big victory. I consider it a victory. And I want to thank Governor J.B. Pritzker because, I've been on Facebook hitting him kind of hard and in the paper and marching and everything because right is right and wrong is wrong. And as early as this morning, I was critical of the governor because the last thing we heard was that he was going to let the courts decide what's right or wrong and not lead. And I challenged the governor to lead, and he is leading you all. I got his press release right here in my phone. You can't, I see, I don't know if you can't read it, but I'm going to read some of it to you. And I'm not saying that this is the total and final solution because there's some things that we need them to still do. But when politicians do good things, we should praise them. So I want to thank Governor J.B. Pritzker, thank State Representative Kathleen Willis and the sponsor of the trailer bill, State Representative LaShawn Ford. I want to thank Senator Patricia Van Pelt, my senator. Van Pelt's just a wonderful senator. Senator Matty Hunter. I'm just saying the ones who talk with me directly. Congressman Danny K. Davis, because it's about to go federal, legally, federally, and we need to get it right. If we get it right in Illinois, we'll get it right for our people all over America. And that's $1 trillion in business, y'all. $1 trillion for black and brown people and women in the cannabis business if we get it right. And getting it right means we limit these rich people from getting them. We limit those who are already in the industry from getting them. And we let social equity people who suffered the most from the war on drugs and from cannabis and weed, or marijuana, reefer, whatever you want to call it, get these businesses in our community because we will keep the money in our community. That's the key. Build up other businesses around the cannabis dispensaries, not just the dispensaries. There could be lounges, there can be cleaners, there could be stores, and we'll hire our own people. So we want to thank the governor. I said thank Representative LaShawn Ford especially because he went out there on the limb. Thank Speaker Michael Madigan, who I'm told had our back, as well as President of the Illinois Senate, President Don Harmon from Oak Park. And I've already said Kelly Cassidy and Representative Kelly Cassidy and Representative Heather Stain. I also want to thank a rep that I had an issue with about the Willie Wilson stuff, but that's the patent. That's Representative Chris Welch, who also from Proviso Township fought hard and let the caucus know, the Black caucus know, this is not right. I want to thank the Latino caucus, Alderman Stephanie Coleman, and others who stood with us. And I know I was hitting hard, but when you're talking about a business that's making $70 million a month and us not being able to make any of it, and it's legal, you got to hit hard because our people are out here dying, suffering. You got to hit hard. So, yes, we want to tweak it. We want to limit the big boys to they 10. Some of them have 70, 30, 40 chances in the lottery. 10 is too many, but I say let's limit them to the 10 because they can only win 10 anyway, right? Weed out some of these shadowy companies, and the other blacks who are in with the white folk, just go ahead and let them get their 1 or 2 chances. But when they get rid of those super chances with those super groups, let new groups come into that lottery, to the first lottery. We also want 75 new licenses set aside clearly for social equity only, and the Big 21 can't even apply for any of those. We want those released immediately. And all of this is for round 1, not for round 4. Round 4. This is round 3, no round 4. The governor in his press release is saying some of the things that I'm saying, but not those things. He's saying review everybody's scores, redo the whole thing, give you a chance to fix your deficiencies, and hold up everything until we get it right. I'm so proud of Governor J.B. Pritzker that he would listen to us and hear us. We also want to get rid of that weigh-in that says if you hire 100, if you hire 6 or 10 black people or brown people, then you qualify. We don't want jobs. We want businesses. So I'm very excited. We're more tomorrow. And Governor J.B. Pritzker, you deserve your praise, and I'm giving it to you.
Now you look at a video, a news clip that deals with a reporting on this same situation that Ricky was talking about, where they're talking about what the governor was saying with those marijuana cubes that was up there. But this one here, yeah.
Qualifying score to open a dispensary can now address any deficiency in their application. They may also ask for a scoring to be reviewed. The state will review all disputes and give final notices before the license lottery is held. Today, the governor said in a statement, quote, "These new steps will inject more equity and fairness in the first round of license awards and provide insight as we improve the process."
And now the coronavirus pandemic.
Now, I wanted you to see that so you could hear what Ricky was saying. So when they double cross, you will see he wasn't just sitting there running his mouth. You will see that that's what they said. But now the piece you're finna see is another piece that Ricky is working on, because this ain't about the governor on necessarily. This is about the math. You're gonna say, well, the math ain't. I don't want to hear that. This dude would not have had the audacity to do this unless she gave him permission. So, like I say, I'm not going to play the piece, but it's a very good piece that Ricky had. But Ricky was spitting so hard that in the last venue, we played it, but they had a whole lot of beeping to try to correct it, and they couldn't keep up with it. And I know Amara ain't going to try that down here. He's made it clear. No, doing all the, too much is too much. So I ain't even going to try it. I'm going to just let you see this here that Ricky put up. But in essence, if you didn't read it, what happened is you got a little city employee, damn lawyer, appointed probably by her. I'm almost sure by her. They got the nerve to tell the alderman that if they do or don't do certain things and get sued, that the city will not back them. They got to get their own lawyer. See, dude, you work for the taxpayers. Dude, the aldermen are elected to represent us. So if an alderman want to use the word Negro, black, minority, who in the hell are you to tell an alderman they can't use them words and they have to use social equity, something that you devils have made up to be sure you wipe out any opportunity that black folks can get. And if it wasn't for Ricky Hidden and those few people that stand with him, because it was just a few, at this point we would have a serious problem. Because the rest of y'all sitting there gonna let it go. Because you figure that one or two flip-flops that got it would be enough. But Ricky Hidden, LaShawn Ford, and others, they've been negotiating and trying to get you more. But they better than me. Because if you're too sorry to fight for yourself, I'll let you starve. Continue to be what you are. Continue to do what you're doing. If you ain't willing to stand with these people, speak with these people, they ain't asking you to tear up nothing. They're just asking you to stand up with them when they need you. But instead, you running around because you scared. See, the fifth floor is just like that piece we saw with Sidney Poitier. What has happened now, instead of the white man necessarily being the bigot or the chauvinist or the sexist, it's these little black females that all of y'all have seemed to have forgotten gonna love him before they love you anyhow. And don't get me wrong. I got a daughter. I came from a mama. So I ain't got no thing to dump women. But it's obvious that what's happening in Chicago right now ain't concerned about the black man or none of that. Ain't even concerned about black folks, period. But the preachers, because of your immoral behinds, not standing for what your scriptures talk about, look what you got. Now she got aldermen that's been down there all these years, and y'all bowing down. Why in the hell did you bow down? And she just got there. She don't even know about being no damn man. You've been an alderman all these years, and it take Ricky Hidden, a former alderman, to stand up and fight for you. She got elected when a lot of y'all got elected. So why in the hell you think she's supposed to let somebody tell y'all what you can say and can't say? You got to be crazy and out your mind. So when election time comes and we get through with Trump, we need to come back and revisit y'all. And definitely revisit the fifth floor. Because I told y'all before, you wanted to change, you got to change. But instead, and I told you this, you got a chain heavier than any white supremacist could have put on your neck, on your legs. You was mad about Rahm Emanuel, had this type of violence going on in Chicago, happened under Rahm Emanuel, y'all would have been ready to, and you tried to do that foolishness, recall it. You would have. That's what you would have done, but now you sitting here like everything cool. No, things ain't cool, things are hotter than they ever been. But at least Rahm Emanuel had enough sense to fake tears. Every time a kid got killed, Rahm Emanuel felt it, and we all felt that he felt it. Now when a kid get killed, you don't hear her say nothing. At least I don't. Man, you better stop talking about the man. She gonna get you took off a cable. She gonna get you, well, do what you gotta do. But I'd be damned if I'm gonna sit here and don't say what I gotta say about what I see. It's commentary. And like I say, mind your business. Understand that? Now, brother, show me this other piece. Now, this piece here about this dude that had that horse out there. Now, you know, y'all ought to be ashamed of yourself. But I'm going to tell you something. He got a good heart, but he was played. They took his energy. I wish I could play this piece by Gail Scott about Save the Children, but I know the little social media stuff we try to do just to have a record of it, YouTube is going to reject it. You know, right along and now they're using all type of excuses why none of the stuff I try to put up can be put up. And it ain't because it's violating nothing. Because folks got all type of garbage on there. But it's because they see my so-called passion. my energy. They say, hell no, nigga, we ain't gonna give you no opportunity to use our platform to act like you act, and niggas start listening to you, believing what you saying, and start acting like they got some sense. I understand y'all white folk, and that little boy at Facebook, and all of y'all little in cabal. Look, man, but I really wish I could use the song, because it'll tell you what happened. Now this brother here, poor thing, when you hear him, I felt so sorry for him. He called her Lori. He called her... Man, go somewhere.
Basically, that they can kneel on my neck. They wish that they can hang me, beat my ass. So, and basically, if they ever see me, it's not gonna be no good sight.
What are your response to some of those comments that you woke up to?
I basically just look at it, I open it, send them a thumbs up, and I just close it. I can't change the way a person feel. Like a person just go off the first thing they hear and don't do research. That's what's wrong with a lot of people. We just go off what social media say and don't do research and just run with it. And that's the problem with the human generation.
Adam, what would you say to some of those same people in those groups who are criticizing what happened Monday and the condition of your horse? How do you address those people?
Look at my history when it comes down to my horses. If you look up the Dread Head Cowboy, you'll hear about all type of things I done did for the community. My focus is on the kids' lives matter, because if you look up the history when it comes down to kids getting killed, 2020 is the highest rate when it comes down to kids getting assassinated, getting killed, getting murdered, and it ain't right. And everybody trying to steer away from that part. And that's very important. That's an important topic that we need to stick on, because 20, 30 years from now, who's going to take care of us?
What's the status of your horse? Have they told you what they're going to do?
I actually been looking for my horse. They not telling me anything about my horse. What I am doing, looking for a lawyer so we can get the ball rolling, so we can prove that ain't nothing wrong with the horse.
Adam, how many horses do you own, and just talk about the love you have for horses during the past few years?
I have 5 horses, and I've been, my first time ever, I'm an animal lover, period. Like, all my life, I've always been an animal lover, and 4 years ago, it was my first chance ever being around a horse. And 2 years later, my first chance owning a horse, and I fell in love with horses since then, and I done owned up to 9 horses. And when I say it's a beautiful thing to own a horse, and I couldn't even tell y'all, the people that don't know anything about horses, from looking from the outside in, you would think that what I did was cruelty to animals. But if you go to the racetrack, you work 100 times worse. You go to the circus, worse, and then what? My car, okay. Like it's a way worse than what I do to my horse. I probably could have did a little bit less, but I had to make a statement.
Were you surprised that you were charged?
Yes, I was actually surprised I was charged, and for them to have me in the station for 2 days, not knowing what they were gonna charge me with, it was very, like, I really didn't know what was going on, but I feel like, matter of fact, I know I'm okay. So, I'm good.
Adam, would you do it all again, or do you plan more protests like this?
Would I do it again? Yes, I'd do it again. Like, if I had to, like, I've been in jail, I had a background. I'm not perfect. If I ready to go to jail for something like that, that was something worth going to jail for. And I didn't mean no harm on my horse at all. I'm a horse loving person, animal loving person. My focus is kids' lives matter. And if a person can't agree with that, I don't know what to call you.
Do you plan to do more of these?
Yes. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. The kids' lives matter. The kids' lives matter. I'm not giving up until I'm not the only one out here. I shouldn't be the only one out here.
That's right.
Adam, what message do you got for the kids that actually support you? Because on social media, I see a lot of teens and kids that support your movement and what you do. What message do you got for them?
Just keep on paying attention and just have my back, and I promise you I'm not gonna let y'all down. It's about y'all. I had my childhood, and now it's time for y'all to have y'all childhood. I love kids.
Hey, Adam, what's next?
Huh? What's next? We gotta focus on this case, and need to get my horse back. That's my focus right now, getting my horse back. I love my horse. Want to get down?
Nobody thought you would catch a case when y'all like planned it out?
Actually, I had reached out to the state's attorney, but not the state's attorney. I had reached out to the state trooper, the headquarters, and basically let them know what I was doing before I was doing it. And they actually told me they was gonna call me back, but never called me back. So I took matter into my own hand because it's a big deal to me.
Well, they're not gonna tell you they're gonna arrest you. They just gonna come and do it.
You're right. You're definitely right about that. And I was prepared for it. Like I had my other son with me that day. He was trying to come with me, and I told him that Daddy might be getting locked up today, and I was prepared for it. But I didn't think it was gonna go had went.
Well, the big question of the day: does the horse have a lawyer? They want to talk about how bad the horse has been injured. They want to talk about the possibility of the horse needing to be euthanized. We cannot trust this government entity. So the question there is: the horse is a living creature. Why doesn't the horse have legal representation in this? Why hasn't an independent veterinarian been called and gone in and done a determination of how badly injured the horse is, and maybe the horse doesn't need to be euthanized, maybe just put out to pasture, retired. You know, the horse needs representation also.
Free legal matters.
Well, I can't speak on that. Only thing I can speak on is that I don't know anything about my horse, and I got doctors that's willing to go check on my horse. But basically, they're not giving me no information when it comes down to my horse. So I was told my horse didn't collapse when I arrived on 95th off the bridge. But I didn't see. I seen on the camera from the helicopter that the Dread Head Cowboy was standing on the horse on the saddle, and the horse wasn't collapsed. So if the horse collapsed and in plain view of the camera, then I don't know what to say.
What do you say about the news that it might be euthanized? What did you think about that?
I feel like that's just a way to make the situation seem worse than it is, because I'm a black brother and I'm doing very good for the community and standing up for the kids' lives matter movement and not focus on anything else, and bringing awareness to kids' lives matter. Because without them, it ain't no point in me being here. Everything I do is for them. I didn't have a bad background. I didn't have a rough childhood growing up. But this area right here, my stomping ground, born and raised over here. So that's why I had y'all to come over here. Because I love my community. I love my city. So I'm not giving up. This little bump on the head right now, it's hurtful. It's hurtful, but I'm come over it because I'm a strong individual, and my mama raised a man.
The horse was bleeding. We didn't see that on camera. How do you respond to that?
I did see the horse bleeding, but have you been to a racetrack before?
Mm-hmm.
Have you been to the circus? Mm-hmm. Have you been to a farm where they work horses?
How much is the ticket?
You don't see no scars. You go to any. I'll give you $5,000. You go to any stable and you go inside a stall and you don't see no cuts on no horse. Of course, you get cut up back being on the trailer, anything. So that's right. That's my answer to that.
Adam, what's the horse's name? And again, why did you choose this exact location to hold this press conference?
My horse named Nunu. And the reason I chose this area right now is because my goal is to build a barn in a community, and I love to own this land right here. I've been reaching out to the person that owned it. I haven't got no response. So if y'all looking at this news conference, I really appreciate if you reach out to me. I'm willing to pay the money. It's something for a good cause, and I feel like you should be on the board when it comes down to this matter.
And again, that barn would be for your 5 horses that are still, where are they now? In the city or suburbs?
In the suburbs.
And you have 5?
I have 5 of them. Instead of we have to go to the suburbs to have horseback riding and kids to learn everything they need to know about a horse, we'll have it here. I feel like that'll change a lot of lives. It changed my life. I used to be them kids, and it really changed my life. Any more questions? One more thing. I called upon the mayor, Lori. When she called upon me, I was there for her. Because she was stressed out about the census, and I was there for her. What I did Monday was my stress signal. Lori, come and help me. I can't do it alone. I can't do it alone. Any Chicago rappers, Common, Kanye West, Chance the Rapper, Twister, come and support me. It's a good cause. I'm only one person. And it's hard. And I really appreciate everybody for coming out. Pray for me, and I shall overcome it. I love y'all.
Dread Head Cowboy. Kids lives matter. Kids lives matter.
Now, I want you to understand this was a press conference. Look at him. He's by himself. You understand me? And then you got the nerve to walk around and support some fake ASS, Black Lives Matter. Some white folk hiding behind some... Anyhow, I ain't going to get into that trinity. And you Negroes, y'all need to just divorce yourself from all of this lives matter garbage. If lives matter, where were you for this brother here today? He had a press conference. I doubt if he had, he ain't had nobody there. Nobody care. Because white folk love animals. And they act like he abused the horse. But damn it, they have horses pulling carriages all over the place. They have horses running down racetracks like he said. They do. That's what a horse do. And to see the little blood they showed over his hoof. And now they want to kill the horse. Saying he in critical condition. You lying behind devils. And the black community, they would allow it. Because you want to dump salt on the brother. You can feel that that brother is just a good brother. That's been used, manipulated. All lives matter. You don't even need that as a damn jingle. Black Lives Matter. A bunch of... I'm going to do a piece maybe next week with somebody telling you about this Black Lives Matter. You being played. You being tricked. So unless they tell you that, unless they want to go hard on the police, don't no other issue matter unless they determine it. And I bet you they're behind a lot of this confusion on this young man because he stood up as a man on his own. But wasn't nobody there with him much. You saw him walk away to his car or whatever he was walking to with just one other person. Where were all of you groupies, huh? Where were you at? You can tell he loved his children. He had his baby in his arms. But he out there standing up for yours. But you won't stand up with him. You won't even support him. Yeah, this is commentary. And it's going to be like this from now on. It is. As long as I'm here. It is. Because you see, right long and now, Ricky Henry can't do it by himself. This brother here can't do it by himself. And I ain't going to never try to do it by myself. I'm going to just do this. Like I've been doing for the last 30 damn years down here, Can TV. Damn near. But I'm not one of those going to get out here and walk and march and beg for you that want to give away whatever we get to some Browns and others. Hell no. But I'm going to sit here and I ain't criticizing. I'm commenting. this poor brother standing out there on his own. And now they're going to go try to take his other horses. Yes, they are. They're going to set him up as if he's cruel to animals. And they're going to send a team of white folks out there, and they're going to make all type of excuses to disrupt his life. Because he's trying to make a statement. Other folks done, come on. Father Flagler supports this man. But Father Flagler and them and others walked out there on the damn road. They didn't make this type of mess out of that. When Rahm Emanuel was there, people was walking out there on the road. And I don't know what happened to them niggas that were standing out there talking about Rahm Emanuel, da-da-da-da. Soon as Rahm Emanuel, all of them, I mean, where did you niggas go? Where did you go? Rahm Emanuel gone. But before he left good, y'all faded into the set. Where you at, Rev? That's what I said. Where you at? You was out there. Why didn't you stand with this brother here? Brother, please. Show this piece about painkillers. Because that's what the Negro need. But instead, he doing opium and heroin and fentanyl. But with these damn political people in office, it's enough.
Heroin, OCs,
narcos, turn a nigga into a dope fiend.
Big boys, dollar bill, Green Goblin, painkillers.
It makes your life a hell on earth eventually.
Painkillers are derived from opium. They're used for medical purposes.
They're a manufactured substance.
They're like a synthetic heroin.
It's basically as powerful as heroin, and it will affect your nervous system in the same way.
It's a pharmaceutical. It's sold over the counter as a painkiller.
It's mostly given to like cancer patients and stuff, and like people who have back surgeries.
You know, mainly used for people who are terminally ill to block off your pain receptors.
Normally you get them through a doctor. You can also buy them on the streets.
It comes in either liquid, like the cough medicine, tablets, or capsules.
With the fentanyl, you know, those actually come in a box of what we call the lollipops, because they actually look kind of like lollipops with a little thing at the end of the stick, and it looks like you're just eating a lollipop.
Some of the painkillers are like Oxycontin, hydrocodone, Loratabs, Percocets, Vicodin.
There's like different milligram forms. It starts out, I think you can get like 10 milligram pills, 20s, 40s, 80s, and then there's like 160s that are hard to come by.
I just took it in pill form.
You could take it orally.
Just get a straw and just snort it.
I used to crush it up and snort it.
I progressed to breaking it down into liquid form, using a syringe, tying my arms up and shooting myself up with it.
When I first tried it, I was 16 years old.
I was probably 18.
I was 21.
I started painkillers at about 28.
It was hydrocodone, a prescription painkiller. I'd first gotten it prescribed to me from a doctor.
I was on prescription pain medication from my doctor and therapist for a long time, and then I just bought it off the street after that.
I took the pain pills from a car accident.
Had some medical issues that developed because of playing sports, and he prescribed me Loratab and Somas.
Took it for a leg injury.
I just thought that it was experimental and I thought it would be cool to try.
It was in the 9th grade in class. My buddy gave me an Oxycontin.
A group of friends in high school. It was the cool thing to do at the time.
A friend of mine told me about pain pills and how they made you feel, and I knew they were in the medicine cabinet. So that's when I went looking.
And then I tried to stop, but it was just way too addictive and I got really sick when I stopped. So I just kept going with it.
One thing led to another, and before you know it, you're hooked.
I had no idea they were addictive till the morning I woke up and I was freaking out because I didn't have anything.
It clicked in my head that, oh my gosh, this is the physical addiction to it. I'm going through drug withdrawal.
It's a pain medication. It takes away your pain. But yet when the medication's gone, you just get all that pain back, whether it be emotionally or physically. It just all comes back tenfold.
You start to crave it. You start to need more.
Within a week or two, I was taking them morning, afternoon, and night and needed them to function.
All of a sudden, after you look at it, you're spending like $300 some odd a day just to get by.
You start feeling these awful withdrawal symptoms where you get terribly sick, hot and cold sweats.
I would vomit and vomit and vomit for days on end.
Don't want to eat, like forcing myself to eat because I knew I had to.
It feels like something's coming out of the bones of your body and trying to break out of your skin.
Felt like someone was just like shoving knives into my bones.
It's like the most horrible thing that you'd ever experience, just feeling like you just got beat up.
In your mind, you're completely panicked. You're freaked out. You can't hold a train of thought at all. You can't function.
I wasn't even looking for the high anymore. I was just looking to get that feeling gone. I felt like dying.
All you're doing is taking it just so that you're not sick.
You feel like you'll do anything to get it. 9 times out of 10 you will.
I had a choice to walk out a door and leave my life and my house and my wife, or stay and try and make things work and quit drugs. And I walked out that door.
I just packed up my things and I left my kids with my parents. I left my family. I didn't tell them where I was going. And I went and stayed with a friend in this rundown hotel full of drug dealers and prostitutes.
I was kicked out of my house 3 separate times. I couldn't believe it had happened to me. Like, for me to be homeless, sweaty, hungry, smelly.
I was filling out fake prescriptions. You actually forged the doctor's signature. Next thing you know, a few months later, I was being arrested for fraud and forgery.
At 20, I was in federal prison for 20 months. And federal prison is no place for anybody to be at 20 years old.
I ran into the back of 2 cars. I pulled out of a parking lot, not looking, car hit me. And then I pulled into a parking lot in my apartment complex and just totally crashed into another car. I didn't even see it when I pulled into it.
I wasn't worrying about like where I was gonna go the next day, where I was gonna sleep. It was just all about getting high, and that was where my focus was.
So I didn't have to face reality, so I didn't have to like look around me and see needles and spoons and blood all over me from shooting up.
My daughter seen me passed out on the floor and not being able to wake me up, thinking that I was dead.
Woke up 3 days later, covered in my own feces and vomit, to my parents rushing me to the hospital.
I OD'd. I just woke up on the floor with some huge man, I didn't even know who he was, standing on top of me, hitting me on the chest, telling me to breathe.
I woke up in the hospital with a tube down my throat. I was handcuffed to the bed, and I'm thinking to myself, what am I doing here? My dad had come to visit me. It's the first time I ever saw him cry, and that's when it really hit me, is not only what am I doing to myself, but what am I doing to my family?
Destroyed my family. I mean, they love me and their family, and blood is thicker than water, but they can only take so much.
It ripped my parents up. Like, they didn't, some nights I'd stay out and not call. They didn't know where I was at.
I wouldn't accept their phone calls. I wouldn't go to Christmas. I wouldn't go to birthdays. I wouldn't go to family dinners.
And I turned into someone who was just had no emotion, that was just almost seemed like they're dead all the time. At first, it's like it's okay to do. It's from a doctor, it's safe.
No one told me that it was really addictive. No one told me about the side effects. No one told me anything. They just said this will take away your pain.
They're little small, round, colorful pills that look so harmless, when really it's just a death sentence.
It sucks. When you're doing it, sometimes it feels good because you got a couple laughs with some close friends, but those laughs turn to tears very quickly.
You lose track of your dreams and your goals, things that you wanted to accomplish and you want to do in your life. The only thing that's important is the drug, and then before you know it, you wake up 10 years later and you see all the time that you'd wasted.
It's definitely not worth it. It's only going to take you down. It's never going to take you up.
Now, being consistent with the LaShawn Ford's West Side Heroin Opioid Task Force purpose, at least part of it, the part that I'm involved in, and that is to bring awareness about heroin, opioids, painkillers, and all this dope that's killing folk. So, you sometimes have to see it for what it is. It's all connected. And, I understand why a whole lot of black folk strung out on some another. Although I'm not a participant in those type of things, and I thank God and my ancestors that I've been guided away from it, but I could have been. So it ain't got nothing to do with me being stronger than nobody else. And that's why I don't judge. Yes, I use the word dope fiend. You're damn right I use that word, because that's what they be doing, fiending. So don't sit here and say, man, you sound nigga when you say dope fiend. Nigga, look in the mirror. That's what you are. That's what they doing. You need to face reality. Get some help. Call the West Side Heroin Opioid Task Force. Not only if you got heroin problems, cocaine problems, But if you got just plain old painkiller opioid problems, which is the reason Trump put all that almost $1 billion into opioid reduction. So now we as Negroes need to get in there and get all the help we can. Get you some Narcan, Naproxen. Stay alive. Try to recover. At least try to do some harm reduction. But until next week, I'm going to get out of here because other folks standing in line to come in here. And since you can only get in here basically one at a time now, I understand that I want to be very considerate of other people's time. Thanks to Mara, we got through this here. Unfortunately, we can't tell you no more to go to Facebook or YouTube, in case you missed it. Because, hell, I can't even get it. I ain't seen it. So all I'm saying is, just keep turning in the CAN TV, Channel 21 or whatever. I don't know. Sooner or later, you'll run into it. You know what I'm saying? I like to run into it myself. But, hell, it is what it is. But we're going to stay on this course. We're going to stay on this mission. And we're going to be moving closer to conversation and commentary on these elections that's coming up. With this president thing. See, I got a text last night. How many minutes I got, Omar? I don't want to run over. I got about, 5 minutes? Good, I can make this point. One of my relatives texted me last night from Texas. And some of them young'uns from the family that I don't even know, I ain't never seen them, down in East Texas. They're going to be somewhere speaking on Trump's behalf this weekend. And I said, well, it's true. If I was in East Texas, I would be voting for Trump. I would. Because in East Texas and a lot of other places, the foolishness that we see in the urban areas like in Chicago, Negroes don't uphold that. Negroes don't uphold what we do here. We don't. We are basically conservative. But now you done got these damn so-called Democrats having you to support foolishness. So I would be supporting Trump. Not because Trump is a good politician, because he ain't. But he's a better body. That's exactly what I said. He ain't a better man. He ain't no more racist or less. But he has a body that has some energy. But I'm here, so I would have to support Biden. Why? Not because he's a better body, because his body look like it's done run out, but because he's a better politician. And right now, what we need is a politician, because Trump is making it clear. He, whatever in the hell democracy means, he ain't going for what we know or what we knew. Trump is going to make himself king, emperor, dictator. Can't go for that. Trump going to have you all back to where we started with Sidney Poitier. In the heat of the night. You're going to have the heat of the day. All day and night. We've been there, done that before. But it ain't because Trump is any more or less racist than Biden. No. But right along and now, Trump is a stronger candidate. But he ain't a stronger politician. Trump is part of that your grandma and my grandma sitting by the fire. He's part of that signifying monkey clique. When we was growing up, those were songs. Then y'all turning into hip-hop and rap, and now you got a bunch of garbage. So, yeah, I understand them youngers, and I salute them. Go on and support Trump, y'all, because it's in the blood. But I'm here in Chicago. See, it used to be I could tell them to go look at YouTube, and they'd see we all on one page. But like I say, these people here, they grown folk, man. I ain't never seen them. I don't know who in the hell they are, but they in the family. Why ain't you seen them? Because I don't be running back and forth down there. Nigga like me go to Texas, them niggas strung me up from a tree. I ain't going. But anyway, the urban areas are full of foolishness. So now people like me have to vote for Biden because we need a politician that might turn out to be just like the city of Chicago, a change that turned into a chain. I'm out.